My name is Rhapsody, and welcome back to Slay the Spire. It's time to go with the Ironclad. Give me bludgeon or give me death! Random common relic, and it's the worst one I could have gotten. Prayer wheel. Alright then. Let's try and get something going somewhere else. Alright. Elite, elite. Oh, triple elite! Is it my birthday? I believe so. I'm gonna hit up this early shop, try and get myself a card to define my run, especially considering I've got those elites later on. This super sucks. They're opening with a 12 attack, and I draw none of my defense cards. Now I'm gonna have, yeah, double defense up against only this attack. Hell yeah. Worst of all worlds. Let me guess, no defenses? Oh, I got two. Yeah, through no fault of my own, this opening fight is going to cost me a bunch of HP. That's what sometimes sucks when you just draw poorly. Yeah, 8 HP that I didn't end up healing. Metallicize is good, but Headbutt's pretty good. Take Metallicize though. Enough Metallicizes and you don't need anything else in your deck to protect you. Ooh. Do I take a Battle Trance? You know what? This early on, sure. That makes Rampage way stronger. That said, we have had a... Ooh, Calipers. Alright, well now it's an Entrench deck as soon as I can get Entrench. Yeah, Calipers, especially considering I've already picked up Battle Trance and I've got 2 upgraded defense, means this is definitely a deck where my entire goal should be just maintaining armor between turns. As much as I wanted Flash of Steel there, it's not as important to my strategy as it might seem. It's just 6 free damage. I mean, I will be playing a bunch of skills, so Letter Opener is a really good pickup there. But it might end up interrupting just a tad. Especially if I pick up things like Offering. Also, having to remove another curse from my deck makes it more difficult to remove the curses I already have in my deck. Yeah, there's Normality screwing me over here. Alright, I'll use the Bash so that it doesn't have an effect. Bash Strike, sure, easy. What's this, 10 block? 6, cool. I could kill with 3 strikes here. And have done. No damage taken in that fight means that I start to heal back up. Like, I'm worried. Because I think maybe the build is take a Searing Blow and then just pimp the ever-loving hell out of that one Searing Blow. And then don't expand my deck ever again. Sure, let's do that. Let's do that. I'm gonna need some aggression considering I'm going for 3 elites here. I obviously want to bash the opponent before I start off, and I want to get my Metallicize active. Perfect. So next turn, we're going to launch our largest attacks against the Lagavulin, and it helps that next turn, we have our first Searing Blow. That's, I mean, that ordering pretty much couldn't have been better. Next 5, reasonably offensive, sure. Triple Strike is easy by me. We are going to need to get this aggression out super early, especially before our opponent saps our strength away. Here I will actually drop a Defend Plus, just because it's upgraded and the strikes aren't upgraded, so on an even footing, I think I would have used a strike rather than a defense. But when the defense is upgraded, over the course of the battle, it might make a significant enough difference to get me some health. You know, all the weasel words in the world. Really wish I could play a final card. Searing Blow double strike? Yeah, not possible. I'm gonna have to throw that potion there because protecting myself against 15 incoming damage is still pretty big. I really wanted Bludgeon, but now that I've got Searing Blow and I'm gonna be continually upgrading it, it's gonna be better than Bludgeon. I'm taking True Grit. No. As much as Iron Wave works in this build, the more cards I take, the more cards I'm gonna have to burn out of my deck. I do have to upgrade True Grit eventually, but the more Searing Blow adds I can get, the better. My goal here is to burn the normality. Beautiful. Obviously, I couldn't play the strike first, then normality would have stopped me from playing the... Oops. Forgot about that. If I played the strike first, normality would have stopped me from playing the True Grit. Okay, triple strike. Problem is we're not going to kill this opponent before it actually gets a large hit off on me. Yeah, there's the 24. And even with maximum damage, I'm not protecting myself against that. What I probably should have done is the defend plus rather than the second hit there, because I could have just relied on getting enough damage in this hand, which I would have done. So, yeah, that's some extra damage I didn't need to take there. Again, not taking any of those. This deck already has a strong archetype before I take any of those. Elixir actually might be important, especially considering the battle that I'm about to go in. So I'm going to discard the draw potion for the Elixir. That's actually a really good opening hand, sure. Despite the fact that I had normality in it. That's the reason, by the way, I've taken Elixir, so that I can burn normality at any point that I need. Heal up by 6. I mean, I am going to be stacking defense in this deck. Do I want to Iron Body Slam? I'll take a 1 of. And I'm actually going to drop the Dex Potion for the poison because I might need it to get through a single boss. Fuck, this is the worst case scenario because, like, I just wanted a single boss to fight here. It would have been perfect. Protecting myself against all incoming damage. Obviously, here I'm going to want to play 3 skills a bunch of times just so that I can trigger Letter Opener a bunch and deal 15 damage across the board, as well as protect myself. So this could not be a simpler decision. Protected against all but 1 damage, and I did 15 damage to the enemies. As well as burnt a card out of my deck, increasing the consistency of me drawing the big hitters. Don't draw normality. Phew. As much as I do want to cast that Searing Blow, that plus Body Slam and then a single hit actually lines up better for me. Two damage taken here. It's a shame that here... Actually, my best damage here is that, and then True Grit. Does 10 damage, split evenly, whereas the other action did 6 damage. This also does give me some ongoing defense, courtesy of Calipers. Now, Calipers, when you are the Ironclad, Calipers is ridiculous. Because all you need to do is get a reasonable armor total and then entrench, and then you're going to have armor for the rest of the game. That is just how that will work. Crumbs. See? I actually can't. Oh! See, I didn't want to use the Battletrons first, but if I had used the Battletrons first, I would have realized that I could have actually dropped that sentry just by throwing a single hit at it, the Searing Blow. And then I wouldn't have needed to cast a third card. So that was entirely my fault. I didn't need to take the 4-5 damage there that I took. Defense, defense, defense. It's especially good that I have both Calipers and Letter Opener, because I'm incentivized to play a bunch of defense so that I can do damage with the Letter Opener, but also so that I can keep the defense with the Calipers. Pretty ridiculous. So this is a 3 elite first floor, and we're still like, I mean, maybe it's good. It's because we don't have, like, a fundamental card base yet. We don't have a card that we look at and go, that's the savior of this run. Frozen Eye is ridiculous. I desperately need to upgrade Body Slam eventually, and same with True Grit. But any upgrade I don't put on Searing Blow is a strike against my future. Actually gonna burn that strike out of my deck, speaking of strikes. Because here you want to be more defensive and then just do larger but fewer ultimate hits. Now that I have Havoc, obviously, I'm going to consider all of my cards significantly differently. Havoc. Now that I have Frozen Eye, I'm going to consider all of my things completely differently. Havoc is now a much better card. Alright. Battletrons. Defend, and then Searing Blow just does enough damage that, sure, I'll accept a little damage so that I can do it. There was no way that any action except for defend, Body Slam there was going to be right, so I just went with it. Oh, this blows. I'm going to True Grit the 50-50 here. Yes. True Grit has been super helpful here. It's actually been really cooperative, despite the fact that I haven't upgraded it so that I can choose who I hit. Alright. Let's get that transformation on. Impervious. I'm trying to think of the cards that I would actually take. Impervious is definitely one of them. Without a second question, I would take Impervious. Because even if it doesn't give me a bunch of block on the turn that I use it, it gives me 15 to 25, depending on whether I've upgraded it, block the next turn. There's no need to take that extra damage, and the more extra damage that I take in the transformed form, the worse my life becomes. I pretty much just need to wait for and then use Searing Blow every time it's active. That was dumb. I'm so used to Body Slam costing 0 that I was just like, I'll use the Body Slam afterwards. Also, that was dumb. I should have attacked with a slash first. Strike, rather. Oh well. So I did both of those hits there because if I draw any damage in my next hand, I kill. And if I don't draw any damage, then I live. Because I'll just defend, because that's the only non-damage card in my deck at the moment. There's Impervious, but there's also Demon Form. So the interesting thing about Demon Form is it becomes a win condition. There's also Juggernaut. All of these are actually takeable right now. Juggernaut the least of which, though. So Demon Form, especially in a deck where you are just going to constantly be blocking, is a win condition. You just play it, and then you block for a bunch of turns, and then you blow your opponent up. Because you have Demon Form, and your strength is ridiculous. This would win the game for me. If I took it, I would win. I'm going to take Impervious, because I want to see how ridiculous we can get our block without... Ooh, yeah, it's Cursed Key here. I want to see how ridiculous we can get our block without relying on Barricade. Just using Calipers. There's no elites yet. There's only elites up here. Oh, and I get some really good choices of my path up there. Okay. I mean, it all starts definitely at here and then streaking over to the right. That's just the correct decision. Freaking normality, yo. You know what? I'm going to burn that. Because over the course of this fight, normality is going to be annoying in a bunch of different circumstances. This saves me 5 health right now. I'm going to take more than 6 damage over the course of this fight, I can guarantee you. And also, I might get a potion at the end of this fight, in which case... I'm just wasting everything if I don't use it. Cool. Alright, I get to carry 7 on. That's pretty good. 1, 2, 3. Put that one on the ground. That one in the back line needs to be put on the ground right now, actually. 1, 2, 3. Beautiful. This is especially fine because, sure, I take 3 damage here, but it blocks for 3 next turn, which is what I can expect this one in the back. Oh, 5. Fine. But I'll just heal that back up, courtesy of Burning Blood. As much as I want to take Cleave so I have some AoE, no. I don't want to thick this deck out anymore. Just want to remove cards from it. Speaking of. Oh, but Oddly Smooth Stone's so good in this deck. I really did want to take card removal service, but Oddly Smooth Stone there was insane. Alright, Tori. Don't want any of those. I mean, sure, you could argue that Second Wind can be used to exhaust all non-attack cards and use that to burn out the Regret. But also, I have True Grit to do that. I could play these 2 and then just take 3 block into the next turn. But also, I should actually just be responsible and deal as much damage as possible. $50-50. Yeah, we did it. It is amazing how often this 50-50 has gone in my direction. Frankly, it's not okay how many times it's gone in my direction. Impervious, defend, body slam. Alright, give me a single strike and we've got this wrapped up. There it is. See, there's a regen. So I'm glad that I used my exhaust earlier. Even headbutt, I don't want to take it. Smith, upgrade searing blow. It's my damage delivery mechanism. I either could have taken searing blow as my damage delivery mechanism, or I could have taken demon form. And I made my choice. Wouldn't have made a difference if I played that or not. Yeah, I actually wanted it to burn and defend, which is why I did it whilst I had 2 defends in hand. I guess I could have just played the strike first. Yeah, that would have actually been, you know, the play that someone with a half a brain would make. Which is half a brain more than I got. Hell yeah. Single strike in the next hand kills. It doesn't matter how it gets mana manipulated. It can't cost more than I have. Armaments. I'm going to need an armaments in this deck because it's the only way I'm going to upgrade any card. Except for the obvious one. Okay, I just got Bottled Flame. I don't know if you realize how important this is, but I just got Bottled Flame in a deck where I'm upgrading Searing Blow. Every single time I play around, I will have Searing Blow in my opening hand every single time, infinitely, forever. So if I now just upgrade this enough times, I will instantly blow up a boss. So that's cool. For example, deal a bunch of damage to you. I'm already regretting that. That was almost certainly wrong. I just wanted to deal a bunch of damage to the boss there to make a point of what I was saying. But now I've gotten myself weakened, and I'm going to take a lot of damage. There's worse bosses I could go up against, but not by much. I used such ridiculous block numbers there, and we still only just blocked what I wanted to block. Okay. Damn it, stop weakening me, please. I mean, it's always armaments the other defend, and then cast double defend there. No choice in that. Yeah. Now we need AoE more and more. Oh, and guess what? It's difficult to sustain when you've got a bunch of enemies on the field and they're weakening you. Enough damage to kill the enemy. I'm actually going to have to use this now. I desperately didn't want to because I wanted to save that for an enemy that I thought more potent. But I allowed the fat gremlin to start weakening me, and now I'm not going to be able to keep up. So I'm effectively just going to make a run at the boss. Yeah, that's a giant freaking hit there. Okay, I can defend True Grit, or I can defend Body Slam. I can 31. I can't kill you. I need to still do as much damage as I possibly can there. This is going to be a lot of incoming damage, and I don't like any of it. Oh, 44 damage. Ouch. That really hurt. Bash. Double strike. You're dead. I'm so glad I poisoned when I did. Obviously, I should have poisoned earlier, but I'm glad that I did it eventually. Feed is good. We're early enough in the game that I actually do need some more value. That said, Searing Blow. I was desperately hoping we were going to get that soon. I'm so pleased. Well, I mean, Searing Blow now instantly kills someone. So, like, Searing Blow Bite. Let's just do that. Then, I actually kind of just want to defend, Metallicize. Body Slam. I actually wasted some damage. Right, Searing Blow was 42 damage. This enemy had 48 HP. No, I didn't waste any damage. I was gonna have to use an extra hit against the final target anyway. Okay. The 5 damage AoE wasn't gonna be enough. I am frankly amazed at how well this is going. This fight in particular. I was worried about this fight being the Book of Stabbing, and that's why I didn't want to drop the 2 poison potions earlier, but it was totally fine to drop them earlier. I didn't know this fight was going to be so easy. I'm going to use the bites whenever I can because I need some more HP, because I'm not going to heal up before I go to the boss, because of course, I'm going to upgrade a card. And you know what that card's going to be? Yes, that one. Should have played both of my bites first. Should have played my upgraded bite there at the end. Thread and Needle couldn't be better for me. I don't know if I can take a Juggernaut. I don't know when I'll have time to play it is the thing. I gain armor at the end of like every turn. Alright, I have to. Just because it will trigger so often. Should take out the highest HP target with this. Because we can. Because Juggernaut will trigger off of Plated Armor, and it will trigger off of Metallicize. I mean, I'm going to play everything except for Impervious this turn, so I guess I upgrade... Bites. Alrighty then. Show me damage. No, it's not damage. Bite, bite. Body slam won't do anything. Alright. I guess I'm gonna body slam. Metallicize. True Grit, hopefully not burning feed, and it doesn't. Beautiful. And then I'll bite. Hope for feed to come at a better time. Juggernaut's still in the very bottom of my deck, which is unfortunate, because now it's definitely too late to use it. Ew. Slightly not, I guess. Just because of the 2 sources of armor that we also have. You can see it did 12 damage that turn. It's going to do only more. Problem here is I don't think I can kill the cultist. Alright. I'm going to be protected against you. I'm going to give myself one more chance to draw through my deck and get the kill on you. That's it, actually. I'm going to deal a bunch of damage to you next turn, so... See, at the end of that turn, I was going to deal the Threatened Needle and also Metallicize, forcing Juggernaut to do 6 damage to the enemy. I think the time has long passed for Rampage to be the point of this deck. Rampage would sure be strong in this deck, but I also don't want to increase the size of this deck literally at all for any reason. I just want Searing Blow every single hand. That is an incredibly unfortunate opening hand. What I really wanted there, as you might imagine, is any of my powers. Would have been awesome. Let's upgrade the Metallicize so that we can then immediately use it. I'm going to start working on you. Basically, I'm going to have to kill the one that takes Juggernaut. Yeah, there you go. I was really hoping it was going to be the backliner, just to make my life easier. But why would anything make my life easier? I'll give it the 50-50, but I want it to burn the defend. Unfortunate. I think holding onto that feed cravenly until the very end so that I can get a kill with it is a great way to make sure that I don't get a kill with it and take damage. Really unfortunate, but I'm going to take some damage through the blocks here. Thankfully, only one hit, so I'm going to lose 1 plated armor. It's pretty good. That's going to give back Impervious. Still not going to kill that orb. Damn it, orb. Especially since I have Impervious in the deck. Entrench is just so powerful. I just haven't seen it yet. And the Armament's True Grit so that I can burn the Regret specifically. Block almost all of the incoming damage from a Hyper Beam, which is practically insane. That attack is so strong that your opponent is stressed after doing it. They're stunned for a turn. Inability to gain gold on the next floor, I would take. Quite gladly, in fact. Okay. I was really hoping for a Searing Blow with that. I don't like that the enemy has artifacting here because I have only one way to affect artifacting, so it's going to take me going through my deck a billion times to actually do anything about it. This True Grit has to burn a Bite, unfortunately. So in action, this becomes a 16-card deck over a long fight. That said, Juggernaut should have played a lot earlier. It's unfortunate Juggernaut doesn't lower its cost when you upgrade it. It just upgrades its damage. Easy done. It's like 2 Hyper Beams we withstood there with no problem. Offering's just really, really good in most decks, in fact. Whenever you lose HP, draw a card. Max HP is reduced by 20%. See, the thing is, I am going to lose HP due to regret a bunch of times, but it'll draw me a card in the end phase of a turn. None of the other ones are useful. I guess I take the Runic Cube. Ugh. Since I didn't have particularly high max HP there, I didn't actually lose that much. But still, it wasn't great. See, this starts with a shop, and then it ends with a shop there as well. I don't like that. It's too many shops. Ah. Oh, here's an interesting thing. I can't actually fight the Nemesis. If I fight the Nemesis here, I will lose. So instead, I'm actually going to skirt around elites on this floor. I'm hoping the Nemesis is eventually nerfed. But I will scout around elites on this floor. Will I lose the Nemesis? I don't think I'd lose the Nemesis. I got a bunch of block. That's a pretty good kill. Sure. Remove the regret. Alright, 12 cards. Don't give me regret. Yeah. Whenever you lose HP from a card. Ooh! If I can get the Impervious match, I'll do it. Beautiful. Pretty good pickup. Pretty damn good pickup for me. Actually gonna Searing Blow an enemy that totally didn't even need it. Because I'll have an enemy to Searing Blow later here anyway. Beautiful. 55 defense is pretty damn good. Unfortunately, that put Depern in my deck. My goal here is effectively just to get through enough turns that I can feed to kill the Flame Bruiser. I've already pretty much guaranteed that my opponent will never deal any actual damage to me. Which, you know, is pretty good. Easily done. When you've got HP at this kind of rate, HP block at this kind of rate, Calipers just means that you're not going to take damage for the rest of the fight, effectively. Okay. So it's Searing Blow, then Feed. We win! Yay! Max HP! Warcry has no negative effect on the deck archetype at the moment because of the cost. You know what? I'm going to accept fighting some bosses. Didn't actually want that. What curse did I pick up? Oh, Clumsy. Perfect. Clumsy is a fine curse to pick up. It removes itself from your deck after the first time it appears. I mean, as far as curses go, that's probably the least impact it could have had. In fact, it is. Here I'm going to take a little bit of damage. Thankfully, they haven't got any status effect like Weaken. Alrighty then. Trance. Juggernaut Impervious. A lot of incoming damage here. Thankfully, I'm able to block at the same rate. Warcry. Bite and feed now kills, and then I can use Impervious. So I'm not even using Body Slam this turn. Okay, it's Bite, Feed, Impervious. Then next turn I use Body Slam. I just had to be very, very careful about what I put back on top of my deck there. Because there was definitely going to be a correct and an incredibly incorrect decision. All right. That fight, again, for an elite fight especially, that worked out ridiculously well for us. Bronze Scales is pretty good for this build. None of the rest of those need to go in it. As much as I want to lift, anytime I see lift, I'm like, yes, that's definitely what I'm picking up. Nope, it's Searing Blow, and it will be Searing Blow every single time. Especially if I could open with Vulnerability, like Bag of Marbles would make this build fucking insane. I guess in the meantime, that'll have to do. Drawn down to that bash. Alright, I didn't get back to the feed, but I stopped my opponent from dealing any damage, and that's the right thing there. Weakness Potion is less important than taking a Fire Potion right here, and Metallicize is definitely way more important. Rest? Rest? Rest. Okay, I get 3 more upgrades. Unceasing Top is pretty good, but unfortunately I'm probably never really going to activate it. At the end of my turn, lose 1 HP and deal 5 damage to all enemies. That will trigger Runic Cube, but it'll trigger Runic Cube before my discard, so I'll draw a card and then just discard it immediately, so it's actually not excellent. It doesn't give me an extra card in my next hand. Okay. Obviously, Double Tap would be welcome in this build, but yeah. Here's the Nemesis. Oh, that's Bash. I actually had someone talk to me recently, or rather mention in the comment section recently, that they think that Nemesis isn't overpowered. Specifically saying that they prefer this form to his previous form. I don't disagree with that, by the way. I dislike his previous form as well. But the general gist of the argument I got was anti being able to just burn a boss down with a bunch of instantaneous damage. The thing is, when I think about the deck archetypes in this game, I think you either need to be able to defend against all incoming damage and then deal damage in between, or you need to be able to kill your opponent before they deal any damage to you. Those are the kind of two super obvious on offer. I mean, that's for anything. Let's be fair, that's for pretty much anything. You either need to kill them first or be able to withstand their ability to kill you and then kill them. So I don't think this is the best build that could have come out of that. I think it invalidates a certain build too much. Maybe if it had 2 turns in between, then I could see it a little more, but not right now. Okay. See? Like, this hand will never do anything against it. And this hand is perfect. Like, it's a good hand for the build that I'm going for. I think for something to invalidate you on the final floor is really, really lame. That's actually the same complaint a lot of people have about the boss, the Time Eater. Because if your strategy is built around the idea of playing a bunch of cards in a single turn, playing against the Time Eater fucking sucks. It's horrible, it's terrible, and it's not good. It's an unfun experience because the fight was decided in a lot of cases before you encountered it. before you even knew that you were going to encounter it. I have the ability to decide what's, or see what's on top of my deck, so I'm actually going to take a Havoc here. Because a lot of the time it will result in me burning something from the top of my deck that I kind of wanted to burn. Alright. Well, here I'm definitely removing a card from my deck, but what else do I do? Periapt's not necessary. I could just upgrade a skill. I could take Immolate, start burning other cards out of my deck. Who's my boss at the end? Donu and Decker? Donu and Decker actually put things in my deck, so I'm going to take an Immolate. Is that a good idea? This has to upgrade a skill. So you know what? Actually, let's take that and let's upgrade armaments. And then because it has no negative effect on the deck archetype, we'll take a Flash of Steel. Also, Smith. Upgrade that Searing Blow again. Sure. Fight for a relic. Don't mind if I do. Searing Blow. Warcry? I'm not pleased about how that turned out. Did I put a damage back on top of my deck? I totally did, didn't I? I'm an idiot. I'm a big dumb. Oh, wait, but he hit me and then he died. All right, maybe I actually, maybe I did that smart. It'd still be accidental, but possibly accidental smart? I'm doing that so that it upgrades both Offering and Battle Trance, so that I just have a ridiculous amount of card draw here. Alright. Feed on you. I'm gonna drop a Body Slam as well. Give myself a bunch of armor at the end of every turn. And that armor is also going to deal extra damage for me. Hell yes. Alright, got a True Grit on top of my deck. So I'll play Armaments first. Then I'll Searing Blow, and that's the end of the fight. Alright, Champion Belt. It's pretty good. Take another Havoc. Burn more cards from my deck. Sure. I know there was a Body Slam on offer there, by the way, but that's not how I deal damage. How I deal damage is with this Searing Blow plus 10. Hell yes. Okay. Burn Injury. Yeah! There go both of the curses in my deck. Offer. Uh-huh. I'm just gonna build a wall here. And then with any reasonable upkeep, they shouldn't be able to really break through it. I put that back on top because I need the rest of them in my hand more. Alright. Two Havocs there. Havoc to play Havoc seems extraordinarily dumb. I can burn a Dazed and burn a Bite from my deck by playing double Havoc here. I mean, I don't think there's any other thing to do, so sure. No problem with that. That backliner can now be killed with a single firebomb, so we're going to do that. Easiest decision of my life. Burn either of them. Really doesn't matter to me. Yeah. I love that from Warpaint and Calipers, we were able to call our shot, and we knew we were going to end up here. Granted, I did think that I was going to take a detour into Entrenched Town, but turns out that wasn't necessary. We got so many other things that supported this build that it wasn't at all needed. Alright, I'm going to Flash of Steel, because I'm always going to be Flash of Stealing this turn. Then I'll defend, then I'll burn the lesser powerful defend from my deck. Then block the rest of your hit. Oh, they had no say here. They had no interaction on the field. They were done and dusted from the moment they showed up. I love it. Goodbye forever. Did I take damage in that fight? Oh, I think I did. I'm not going to get a high score. Yeah, 656. Bugger. I think I took damage in like the second turn or something. Like one hit though. Yeah, there's Overkill. I got Speedster. That's pretty good. I could have been a little faster and I would have been able to pick up the Fleet of Foot or wherever it is. Collector, Overkill. I mean, you always get Collector when you take Bite. Obviously, if you make your deck super large, you can get a bunch of stacks of Collector, but then you're much less likely to get Speedster or Overkill because you're not going to be focusing on a single specific strategy. If I got Champion, that would have been really good. But sadly, I took a little bit of damage at some point. Damn. For the moment, though, my name has been Rhapsody. The name of the game has been Slay the Spire. Hopefully you've been enjoying yourselves, and hopefully we will see you next time, Maria.